I'll make a brief statement and then turn it over to Ms. Clark and to Mr. Kim, who will delve into the investigation's findings. The independent investigation has concluded that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women and in doing so violated federal and state law. Specifically, the investigation found that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed current and former New York State employees by engaging in unwelcome and non-consensual touching and making numerous offensive comments of a suggestive and sexual nature that created a hostile work environment for women. The investigators independently corroborated and substantiated these facts through interviews and evidence, including contemporaneous notes and communications. This evidence will be made available to the public along with the report. This investigation was started after a number of women publicly alleged that they had been sexually harassed by Governor Cuomo. And on March 1st of this year, the governor's office made a referral to my office pursuant to State Executive Law 63.8 regarding these allegations. Executive Law Section 63.8 permits the New York Attorney General's office, with the approval of the governor, or when directed by the governor, to inquire into matters concerning the public peace, the public safety, and public justice. This referral issued by the governor enabled my office to appoint independent outside investigators to look into these allegations. And on March 8th, 2021, Ann Clark and June Kim, they were officially deputized as special deputies. Ms. Clark and Mr. Kim and their respective firms were chosen to lead this investigation because of their decades of work at the highest levels, their deep expertise on matters in question, and their careers fighting to uphold the rule of law. Ann Clark is a partner at Vladnick, Raskin & Clark PC, where she focuses on employment on behalf of employees at the trial and appellate levels. And during her more than 30-year career, Ms. Clark has represented clients in a variety of employment, sexual harassment, and other discrimination cases in the private sector, in education, and in government. She also has deep experience with retaliation, whistleblower, breach of contract, and compensation and benefit cases. June Kim is a partner at Cleary, Gottlieb, Steen, and Hamilton, LLP. And for more than 2 decades, he has worked at the highest levels of government and in private practice. From March 2017 to January 2018, he served as the acting United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. As the most senior federal law enforcement officer in the district, he oversaw all criminal and civil litigation conducted on behalf of the United States. Before becoming acting United States Attorney, Mr. Kim served in various leadership positions in the office, including Deputy United States Attorney, Chief of the Criminal Division, and Chief Counsel to the United States Attorney. Ms. Clark and Mr. Kim are experienced, credible, and deeply respected professionals. And together, they ensured that this investigation was both independent and thorough. Over the course of the 5-month investigation, the investigators spoke to 179 individuals, including complainants, current and former members of the executive chamber, state troopers, additional state employees, and others who interacted regularly with the governor. In addition, they reviewed more than 74,000 pieces of evidence, including documents, emails, texts, audio files, and pictures. These interviews and pieces of evidence reveal a deeply disturbing yet clear picture. Governor Cuomo sexually harassed current and former state employees in violation of both federal and state laws. The independent investigation found that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments. Further, the governor and his senior team took actions to retaliate against at least one former employee for coming forward with her story, her truth. And Governor Cuomo's administration fostered a toxic workplace that enabled harassment and created a hostile work environment where staffers did not feel comfortable coming forward with complaints about sexual harassment due to a climate of fear and given the power dynamics. The investigators found that Governor Cuomo's actions and those of the executive chamber violated multiple state and federal laws, as well as the executive chamber's own written policies. This investigation has revealed conduct that corrodes the very fabric and character of our state government and shines light on injustice that can be present at the highest levels of government. But none of this would have been illuminated if not for the heroic women who came forward. And I am inspired by all the brave women who came forward. But more importantly, I believe them. And I thank them for their bravery. And I thank the independent investigators for their professionalism, despite the attacks, and for their dogged determination that brought us to the truth. And now we will hear from June Kim and Ann Clark, who will walk us through the report and their findings.
A devastating indictment of Governor Andrew Cuomo by the New York State Attorney General Letitia James, accusing him of sexually harassing multiple women and violating multiple federal and state laws. Jerika Duncan is outside the Attorney General's office in New York City. Jerika?
This was a very extensive investigation, as Letitia James, the state attorney general, noted, saying that this was 5 months long, 179 individuals, former and state employees that were interviewed, and over 74,000 pieces of email, text messages, documents to corroborate what these women said happened. You may recall that exclusive interview with Norah O'Donnell with one of the victims, Charlotte Bennett, who said that the governor at 25 years old had asked her about her sex life, had asked her if she had ever had sex with older men, saying that it was inappropriate. Everything that we heard today was what we had been reporting and hearing for the last several months, that several women said that they had been sexually harassed, that they felt that they were made inappropriate comments to, and that this was a toxic work environment, which is exactly what we heard from Letitia James, who said that it fostered a toxic workplace. Throughout all of this, Governor Cuomo has maintained that he did nothing wrong. In fact, in an article a few months ago that I reread, he said, "I was eager to get to the facts." Well, it appears the facts today point to what the Attorney General says is that the governor of New York State harassed women and violated their rights, and that these were federal and state crimes that were committed. Anthony?
Jerika, thank you. We should note the governor at one point did say he felt embarrassed and apologized for making anyone feel uncomfortable. But as Jerika pointed out, he has denied any wrongdoing. Let's bring in CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman. Ricky, we heard the Attorney General say the governor violated multiple federal and state laws. What could this lead to for the governor?
Well, in addition to the possibility of further proceedings in civil court having to do with sexual harassment, sexual discrimination, and retaliation, we have to look at the criminal courts. You're dealing with the crime of forcible touching in the state of New York if it occurred and if it is proven within 2 years of indictment. It's a short statute of limitation having to do with groping, also having to do with mere touching of someone in their private areas, even could get to the level of touching of the back to the buttocks, could be the embracing, and obviously the allegation of groping a woman's breast that has been out in the public as an allegation. But in addition, Anthony, we have to consider the possibility of what the federal government is going to do when it looks at this. Is this a civil rights violation? Can it be within the statute of limitations? However, when we're dealing with the governor, Anthony, we're not only dealing with the possibility of criminal trials, criminal cases, and civil cases, but we're really dealing with his political future, because ultimately there is the question of impeachment by the New York legislature, whose spokesperson on the Assembly side has said that the report of Letitia James would not be sufficient in and of itself, that it would be one element under consideration. If they were to go forward with impeachment, they would also be looking at other things, such as the book deal, if there were improprieties in writing the book, and also having to deal with the question of the nursing home scandal. So the governor is literally fighting for his political life. Certainly, we know that as of today.
And he could have faced charges down the road. Ricky Kleeman, thank you very much. Once again, an independent investigation by the New York State Attorney General has found that Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, violated multiple federal and state laws with unwelcome, non-consensual touching, groping, suggestive comments, and creating what they call a hostile work environment. Our coverage continues on our 24-hour streaming service, CBSN. You can watch it at cbsnews.com or download our CBS News app on your cell phone or connected TV. There will be more on your local news and tonight on the CBS Evening News. This has been a CBS News Special Report. I'm Anthony Mason in New York.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com.